with Joel at the Red Devil Addict studio. We thought, well, we'll wait until the preview of the Real Sociedad game. But you know, me and Alex, we were talking. We were, see, Alex is at work as well. He's skipping work, because this is more important. The United channel is more important. The Red Devil Addicts channel is more important, and we are united in that way. We are brothers in arms. That's what this is all about. This is what the Red Devil Addicts is all about. We want to go out there. We want to give our fans a good taste of what we've been hearing and literally cheering. Alex Tellers is probably going to dance for us later today. We never know, never know. See, he's already shaking his head. And then we'll go bow chicka wow wow. Yeah, Alex Tellers. Hey, we're all bouncing. Look, we're all still bouncing from today's this morning's victory against Arsenal. I tell you, it's still unbelievable. It's still sinking in. Coming after, to be 4 games on the trot, and I know after starting off and losing 2 games at the start of the season against Brighton and Brentford, what a turnaround! 4 games on the trot again, that we've actually won those games and tough games, and it's going to come. It's going to keep. The fixtures are going to keep coming thick and fast, because we all know it's a World Cup year, so there's going to be a lot more games. We're playing on Friday morning here in Australia. In Australia, it's Friday morning at 5 a.m. We're playing Real Sociedad in the first opening game of the Europa League. So that's going to be a really interesting to see what Ten Hag does in terms of who he's going to start and who he's going to sort of play. Is he going to play the same team, or is he going to make some minor tweaks? We're going to catch that live on literally on Friday morning. We're going to do we're trying to get into the show at Friday morning and sort of see what the latest news is, if there's any latest injuries, because we wanted to find out what's happened to Rashford. He had a little bit of a hamstring strain yesterday. We saw him holding the back of his leg. Hope it's not too bad. And our good buddy Lisandro Martinez as well, who came off, had a fantastic game. Just waiting for the medical staff to sort of give us an insight as to what's happened to them. So we were actually quite interested to know how he's going to set up the team against Real Sociedad. So Alex, anyway, great to have you always, as always. Before we get anywhere, before we get into anything, we need to get you to do the Lisandro Martinez chant, because that has got perfectly, specifically attached to the Gunners. And then we'll do a new UNITD chant. So we want to get the Lisandro chant first, and that's what we're going to do, guys. That's what we're going to do every time we have Alex Tellers on. He's going to sing us a chant. He's learning some of the other ones as well, but he's mastered 2 chants, and we're going to get him to do the Lisandro Martinez. Fire away, Alex.
Lino's fucking magic. He wears a magic hat, and when he saw Trafford, he said, "I fancy that." He nearly signed for Arsenal, but snubbed them because they're shy. He signed for Man United because they're fucking dynamite.
That's the spirit, Alex. I tell you, that was fantastic. That was fantastic. I tell you, that was really, 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 really good. I was just looking at the news today after Anthony scored his debut. He went out for dinner. As he walks for dinner with a couple of pals, he's showing so much of passion. I like it. I still wanted to remind everyone that what he did with touching the badge and kissing the badge. Oh, that was literally awesome. What do you think of that? Look at that. He's hiding his jersey underneath his work clothes. That's the man. That's what I'm telling you. That's why we all love Alex Tellers. Well, Alex Tellers has got a few names. Yeah, we're going to say it loud on air. We call him Alex Tellers. We also call him Alex Kamitsis, or we also call him Alexandro, or we call him the Talisman. Alex the Talisman. See, so he's got so many names. He's a man of few the man of multiple names.
That's it.
Alex, come on. I want you to give us some thoughts, bro. I know we spoke about this, how excited we are, how we looked at the game. Um, we had edgy feelings because Arsenal played a very what I call a very tidy game. They were very. They had a game plan. They had the understanding between the players. I mean, for us to come away with that sort of a victory, there was something that we did right. There was something that Ten Hag did, and there's something very notably that I noticed, that he made one key decision that literally gave a lot of gave us that additional flair to go in and score that two goals. Well, for a certain point, we also copped the equalizer, but it also gave us that opportunity to go and get the winner, the two winning goals. But I want to get your thoughts first. Um, um, Alex, you would have probably gone back and seen the game again and again. That's what I did. I was reviewing the whole game. I was looking at points and notes to actually talk about what we witnessed and what are the things that we need to improve on. So we'll just get Alex thoughts on that. Come on, Alex,
Yeah.
fire away, bro.
Look,
Fire away, bro.
we have to give credit to Arsenal. Like they did play pretty good. Like they had more possession than we did. At the end of the game, but obviously we won. That's all that matters. The 3 points. So yeah, we played phenomenal. Like Anthony's debut goal, like I was obviously I was at the casinos in the morning, like watching the game, and there was probably 5 or 6 United supporters, and there was probably maybe 10 or so Arsenal fans, and we were just going nuts when Anthony scored the first goal, and it was good. Yeah, it was. I'm just still buzzing, eh? We played a really good game. Credit to Ten Hag. Like he's just an amazing coach. I was actually quite surprised when the lineup came out and Anthony was starting. But obviously, because they've played uh, Ten Hag's. I mean, Anthony's played under Ten Hag at Ajax, so I was like, all right, we'll see how he goes. And he scored his first debut goal, and when he kissed the badge, it was
That was awesome.
man.
But you know what?
That's what the real Manchester United players, should be doing. If they score like a goal or like a whatever, they should be doing that every time, man. It's passion.
Yes.
That's what you want to see. And
Correct.
the last 4 games have been really good for us.
Yep.
4 games on the trot. We do have a Europa League game this Friday, which we will obviously talk about during the week.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just still buzzing. Like I know, my cousin Peter is back in London now. He's coming back home Wednesday morning. He's leaving tomorrow. Another big shout out to him. He got me something from Old Trafford, so
Fantastic.
I'm very thankful for him for doing that. I'm not too sure what it is, but when I do catch up with him, maybe in a week or two, when I come on the show, I'll have to show it to you, boy. Show it to everyone.
Well, you might be in Melbourne by then,
Yeah, well, I hope so.
Hope so. We're still monitoring it. But before you go further, Alex, I wanted to actually touch on, and I want to sort of say a big thank you to our what I call our magician, our Houdini. That's Josh. Josh, appears, now you see him and now you don't, kind of thing, But I know Josh would have been would have loved to be in here now, because a big shout out to him, because he actually, when we were having our chats, he's the one who actually pointed out, before we did the pre-show and the lineup discussion. He actually said that he has a very strong feeling. His sources were telling him that United were going to start with Anthony, and he was right. He was actually right. In that regards, his sources were right, and it proved to be a great debut as well. With he debuted with a goal, and it's a fantastic, literally fantastic. It was a good layoff, good play by Bruno and Rashford to lay it off. So it was fantastic. Well, you know who was the man of the match, and I think he deserved it, was Christian Eriksen. He deserved the man of the match.
Yeah.
Even though Rashford scored 2 goals, and I think the Premier League thought that he was, but I think he was my man of the match. And because if you look at the way he was passing the ball up and down, he was very unselfish. For the Rashford goal, the third goal. So I think that's a man of the match performance by Christian Eriksen, and we always knew what he could do. He's the brains behind the team, and that's what United were lacking. We were lacking the Paul Scholes brain, and that's what Eriksen has. That intelligence in knowing what to do and where to pass and how to pass, making those right decisions at the right key time. Now, I just wanted to actually give you some updates. There's been some news that are coming out from United, and also your team, Alex Telles. Sevilla has contacted Pochettino.
Oh.
So you might be playing for Pochettino. Pochettino might be the new manager to
There you go.
actually replace.
I'm heading back.
Lopetegui.
I'm heading back to Spain tomorrow. So.
Yeah. Probably, you never know. You might be welcoming Pochettino to Sevilla.
There you go.
And now there's a really very, very interesting topic, Alex. The Glazers apparently have put Manchester United up for sale at a price tag of £3.75 billion. That is almost 5 times or almost 6 times the amount they paid for United. They paid about £600 million. Now they have literally put it up 6 times the amount that they paid, or finance, I would say, Manchester United. In a way, if the stories are true, I would be happy that's happened, because I'm hoping a big firm will come and buy out the Glazers and put the right investments into the right areas of the club. The football development side, not only for the first team, but for the women's team as well, which is a key fundamental, and also the youth development, so that we can develop more youths, produce more youths, and that would literally hold us a little bit more in terms of spending on overpriced players. I think that's a key factor, and upgrades need to be done to that beautiful stadium we call Theatre of Dreams, and to the Carrington training ground. So I think that's a real key factor if that goes through. But anyway, well, let's talk about this in the next show, because I've literally just seen this story break. We don't know how good the sources are, but you never know. Apparently, there has been an interest by the Dubai Sheikh, about Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, could be interested in buying the Red Devils. Wow! So that could be a big one. If that happens, we know we're going to get a lot more investments into the club. and we're going to be able to structure the club properly and build this big brand further and further. Well, not further, but build this big brand and repair a lot of the damages that was caused by poor ownership and poor management. Well, you never know.
well,
I'm here. I'm putting myself out there to be CEO of Manchester United, Alex, and I tell you, the Red Devil Addicts boys will be in the boardroom, and I'll tell you what, we will put that club back together, and we will start winning stuff because we're going to run the club with passion, right? You need to have passion, and you need to put the brain to the passion, and I'll tell you, that's what's going to make the club successful. And I'm putting myself out there. I am asking whoever's going to buy Manchester United, I'm asking you for a job because I want to do it for passion, and I'm happy not to take a salary for a year. And I'm telling this on air. I'm happy not to take a salary for a whole year, but I will guarantee you, from that passion perspective, I'll put the club back to where it should belong. That is at the top, at the summit of any mountain, and I'll tell you, that's exactly what I would love to do. So I'm reaching out to everyone. So remember, Alex, when you're flying past Manchester, please stop by in Dubai and tell Mr. Sheikh Mohammed that I've got a friend back in Australia, in Melbourne. He's the right person to be the CEO of Manchester United. Right? Don't forget to give that news, yeah?
There's Darren.
Hey, my man, Darren. We were missing you, bro. We were trying to say, how the hell do we get Darren? He's in what I call poor internet country, New South Wales. Poor internet country.
So bad over here. It's like you can't find it anywhere.
Man, I'll tell you, I can't wait for you to come back to Melbourne, man. I'm telling you, I really can't wait for you to come back.
It's so frustrating. Like you can't, like where I'm staying, the Wi-Fi is really bad.
Yep.
Well, it's like no, and when I go to one of the bars, it's just like too loud.
Yep.
Like I don't want to come on, like it'd be too
too loud. Yeah, well, it was too loud because it was hitting a lot of nerves at the background and stuff like that, and I'm just worried that it was just going to be really, really loud, and all our followers.
Is that like okay now or not?
What's that? We could hear you. Yeah, I could hear you. Yeah.
Joel, I've got to head off, mate.
All right, Alex, tell us. We are saluting our champion, Mr. Alex. Tell us, as I said, Darren. We've Alex, a very special man. He gave us a little bit of a dance just now. He gave us the chant. He's also told us that. Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. And look at him. While he works very hard tonight, he's wearing his United jersey underneath. That's my man, Alex Tellers.
Hey guys.
See you. Bye, bro. All right.
Oh, you really started recording? I didn't realize you were recording.
Yeah. We were recording.
I didn't realize that.
You're on candid camera.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
you didn't say anything bad, so that's which is good. Couldn't get any of the other boys.
Yeah, because I don't know. No, I was saying I didn't. I wasn't really like paying attention because I didn't know we were live. I thought we were just talking. And then I saw, I was like, oh, Joel's recording the call.
Yes, okay. That's it. We're recording because we wanted to do a quick show. Literally, there was a couple of things that I wanted to sort of highlight on, which me and Alex touched on. We were still shaking and excited about the win against Arsenal. But one news that we are actually I'm actually looking at the moment, which I just mentioned. Apparently, the Glazers have finally agreed to put the club up for sale, and
Yeah.
they've valued it at $3.75 billion, pounds actually, 3.75 billion pounds. That's almost 6 times of what they actually paid for United in the early they bought them in the 2004, 5 or 6, within those era. I think it's when their father Malcolm Glazer bought Manchester United for, I think, 680 million or 700 million pounds. Of course, they didn't use any of their money. They used all investments to go out and buy the club. But they're looking for a big windfall, and putting a 3.75 billion price tag on it. I mean, I'm just hoping that this rumor is true, because apparently the ruler of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, could be interested to buying Manchester United from the Glazers. Now, look, that would be massive, because if that really happens, I think it'll be good for the club, because we've literally taken it away. Look, there are two ways of looking at it, Darren. It could be from a factor that, are we looking at the lesser evil, or sometimes the person that you don't really know very much about, you don't know what's going to happen. But I'm just going based on the ownership of Newcastle. Look at Man City, PSG. They've literally poured a lot of money into the club for development. Man City is a classic example. Not only developed the first 11, but also developed the youth setup. They went out and created a real good business model. They spread it, the branding across the globe. Down here, as you all know, down here in Melbourne, one of the Melbourne team, Melbourne City, is owned by the Man City owners. So they've got a big youth system here that's also on the development from the Australian side of things, and developing Australian players. Which in a way it's a good thing that that they've literally tried to make it a big global push, a big global strategy to in developing. So I see that if that could actually materialize with Sheikh Mohammed, I'll be very supportive of him. Of course, the other story that's not going to go away is Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I would really like him to buy as well, because he's a hardcore United fan. He's not only going to run the club as a business, but he's going to run the club with passion. And that's what I think you and I can agree, Darren. When we saw Anthony score that goal, and when he ran, it was a new signing. He ran to the fans, and he ran up there holding and thumping his chest and kissing this wonderful badge, kissing it. And we've not seen that for a long time, Darren. I remember us talking about this. We've not seen that. That's showing passion. That's showing loyalty, and that is showing that you want to be there, and you want success for the club, and you want to make sure the club wins. That is the kind of thing that I want. And I told Alex, I said, look, I'm putting myself out there right now. I'm putting myself out there in the market. If the Sheikh Mohammed or Sir Jim Ratcliffe, if you're hearing me, I'm putting myself out there to be your CEO. The reason why I say that is because if I'm going to run that club, I'm happy not to be paid for a year. I'm happy not to be paid for a year. You don't have to pay me anything, right? Give me that opportunity to run that club, and I will bring it back to where it needs to be. And then we'll decide. My remuneration, right? Because I will do that for passion. I will do anything for passion for Manchester United. I am happy to go without penny or without money for one whole year, just to bring this club back to its glory days, right? And I think it's not only about just buying the players and putting them into the club and waiting. I want to look at developing the women's team. That's a key fundamental. I want to look at developing the youth team. want to develop the under 23 team. I want to be able to repair the stadium. The stadium we all call the Theater of Dreams. I want to fix the stadium up. I want to make it another stadium that is state of the art, right? I want to pour investment into developing Carrington into a better training facility, improvements, putting state of the art technology in there where players can monitor their movements, players can monitor their brain waves. All of those things are made available today. This will help generate the data that Eric Ten Hag needs to be able to play the right brand of football to be victorious. And there's one thing I wanted to go back to talking about the game, and I think it was very smart the way Ten Hag managed the game yesterday. Was we went out and scored that 2 goals purely because he made that one crucial, critical substitution, and that was actually bringing Cristiano Ronaldo on. Now, if you noticed, he may not have scored goals, but when Cristiano Ronaldo came on, Rashford was forced to move to the left. When Rashford moved to the left, Arsenal knew that because Ronaldo didn't have the pace to outmuscle their defenses, they played a very high line. So when you start playing a very high line and you've got intelligent players like Bruno and Christian Eriksen, you can one ball lobbed across and over the defense, and you've got someone like Marcus Rashford belting down that middle chain and taking on one-on-one with the keeper. And 9 out of 10, Marcus Rashford doesn't miss from it. And that's exactly what happened in the 2 goals. And I think it was very smart of Eric Ten Hag to actually make that substitution. People wouldn't have looked at that substitution as an effective one, but I can tell you that's the one that got us the 2 goals. Because if we kept playing with the fast, we knew that they knew how to defend against Rashford, because Rashford is not a great ball holder. He doesn't hold the ball pretty well. So I think that's great. So, but anyway, the fact that I'll say.
You still get stuck. Sorry, there's people past.
It's all right. We'll just have to tell them. Probably tell them it's too late. You're in poor internet country. Go to bed.
Yeah.
I need to do the show.
Yeah, I need to tell them to just go to sleep. Talk about the game yesterday. My standout players, actually, the whole team played well. But I think the standout performer for me would be Eriksen. I think you can just see now from last year. What we've always needed is someone in that midfield that can control the game and make that killer pass to the forward line. And can you hear me okay? Or?
Yep. No, I can hear you. I'm just looking at
speech frozen, that's why.
Anyway. There was news about this made available. Apparently, footage shows the 37-year-old trying to motivate United stars after they conceded to Arsenal. So it was good. I think it was fantastic as a captain. I mean, well, he took on the captain's responsibility to do that, and it was and fans reacted to the video and said, and most of them were calling him, he's a born leader, and I think and they're right. They're right. And it was so nice for him to actually stand up, and he applauded Anthony when Anthony scored that goal.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that was so good. Yeah, to go to Everton again. You just also think what he's been through as well. It was only 2 years ago he nearly lost his life, and now he's really one of our best players on the pitch, and I think that just shows remarkable courage to come back from that, and I think it's a remarkable story. And when I hear about it, I was like, he's never going to come. He's never going to play the highest level again. But it's happened before, hasn't it? With Fabrice, Fabrice, wasn't it? It happened to him, and he never came back. So like when it happened in the Euros, I was kind of like, this is not. There's no way you can play again.
Correct.
And it just shows that, you know, remarkably, he's come back and not just playing, he's performing like top level for one of the best teams in the world. And I just think, incredible in what he's doing right now. And I think, also he's actually helped McTominay, like, because I think when you have McTominay and Fred, like, none of them can like do what Eriksen can do. But when Eriksen's coming now, basically, I think it's told McTominay, you win the ball, you do that job, and give the ball to Eriksen. And that's, I think that has helped McTominay. Just he's not being amazing, but he just seems a bit more like less pressure on him. And you know, now like he's got Eriksen there, because as we've always said, Fred and McTominay just kind of like they can't play together. And I just think this has helped McTominay's game now, with Eriksen coming in as well. I think eventually Casemiro will probably take over him. But at the moment, you know, McTominay, he's not doing a lot wrong. He does make a few mistakes and he's a bit clumsy sometimes. But he does win the ball and he just gives it to Eriksen. And if he just keeps on doing that simple stuff like that, you know, you can't really complain too much about him.
No. Totally agree. And I think, look, the way I think Ten Hag sort of set up the team, you know, he's just made minor tweaks here and there, like you've taken out like probably Anthony Lenga, and to start with Anthony itself, that was a bold move, to not play Casemiro and still play McTominay in that particular defensive CDM role was fantastic. One thing you did notice when Fred came on, did you notice he had a very different game? He could have, if he could have been able to be the person to provide two goals, one for Ronaldo, and he could have actually got Bruno on the score sheet as well. But did you see he chased every ball down? He's a hardworking player on the ball, and he came on to sort of shore up the midfield a little bit more, compared to when he used to partner McFred down there. You know, so I think that's a very notable improvement in the way we've positioned Fred's new role to be.
Yeah, I think Fred's one of those. I think I agree with that completely. I think Fred's one of those players that he's not going to, for me, he's not a starter, especially like in the big game. But I think he's someone who could like definitely be a squad player. If you look in the past, we've always had these, squad players who are not really going to be the first name on the team sheet, but will always come in and do a job when need to. And I think that's why McTominay and Fred, that's why I wouldn't say get rid of them. I think they can do a job for the team.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people have been saying, they should be sell them and get rid of them completely. But I actually think they have got a job in the team. You know, I would have them probably like starting every week. You know, Casemiro and Eriksen, I think they're the first choice.
Yeah.
You know, I think Casemiro at the moment is probably. The manager actually did mention that yesterday. He said he's not ready to play like in my system or something yet. He's not like used to it.
Yep.
And so I think that's why he's not been starting the last few games. I think after maybe a couple of months, he will start to adjust to it. Yeah. And then I'm sure he'll be the first name on the team sheet. Yeah. McTominay and Fred, I think they've definitely got a role in the squad. Yep. And they can come on and do a job. And I think also because they're playing with like better players next to them, it will improve their game as well.
Yes.
So I think it's definitely a bonus.
Yes. To touch on the Casemiro situation, I've done a little bit of research in with regards to Ten Hag and how he likes to play and how he likes he's a big fan of CDMs, but he likes a CDM that can move the ball forward, remove the ball from the defensive danger, turn around, look, and make that killer pass. That was the reason. That is the main reason Erik ten Hag wanted Frankie de Jong right until the last day, because he likes that kind of player. Now, Casemiro, on the other hand, is a brilliant player. It's a fantastic world-class player. But Casemiro is a CDM that literally sits and mops up the front.
Yeah.
That's all he does. In front of the defense, he mops up the process. He is not the person that's going to play that killer pass forward. So he's the person when you want to play a tight game and you've got a very strong attack coming at you. For example, if you had Barcelona and with Messi, Iniesta, and Xavi, that team coming at you on a one-to-one and constantly attacking you, now you need a Casemiro to mop that, win that loose balls, win that second ball, going in for the hard tackles, and clearing the ball out. But if he's not the player that Ten Hag wants to use on an every game basis, because of the style that Ten Hag wants to play, is taking the ball from the defense, turning it into an attacking play. That's why Erik ten Hag pursued Frankie de Jong, because that's the kind of player he likes to play with. So that's the key. I think that's what I've analyzed and found out. One of the major reasons that Casemiro isn't starting yet. He comes in to shore up the defense. He comes in once we're having a lead to calm the attack down and start to mop the place. That's what Casemiro is is a player that does that. But I think as time goes, he will get better at that. My biggest problem with McTominay is he can be overly committing sometimes, and he holds the ball a bit too long, and sometimes he doesn't know what to do with the ball, and that's for me, that's a big concern. That's one of the reasons, again, as I say, and I reiterate the fact, Ten Hag likes someone like Frankie de Jong, or Frankie de Jong himself. So that's a very key factor, because if you give him half a choice in the next transfer window, he will go and get that one player.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. Yeah, I think he's. I think McTominay's just one of those. I think you seen it yesterday. Yeah, I think it was near the end of the game. I think it was actually a bad pass to it by someone, but he just kind of panicked. And I think Casemiro in that decision would have been, even though he had like people around him, I think Casemiro or De Jong would have been, a bit more calmer. But he just kind of panicked, and I think he made like a rugby tackle, didn't he, on that on the Arsenal player? Correct. And I think he's actually, I think he's got actually 4 yellow cards already this season, which is like out of 6 games.
Yep.
So he's someone who's not got a good discipline record, but I think that's because he rushes.
Yep.
And then he wants to win the ball back, which is fair enough, but he just makes up too many fouls. So, I think right now it's working. What's happening? Starting by McTominay and bringing Casemiro on. So you can't really complain right now. But I think, as we said, in the long term, I think Casemiro will definitely come in, and and then McTominay will still have a job to do in the team, but just not from the start.
You're right. You're right. Anyway, we're gonna. We said we were gonna be at 15-20 minute show. It's already 40 minutes.
Always away, isn't it?
We always get carried away. But I want to see how this story on the sale of Manchester United start to develop over the next couple of days. And I think we'll probably jump on if it sort of intensifies and more of the reports are starting to report it, especially financial houses like Bloomberg and all of those things are starting to report it. It'll be really good if we can jump on quickly and start to sort of analyze what's actually going on and how that's basically going to help us in developing the club even further from a repair perspective, and also investments into the youth system, into the women's league, and also, of course, adding more quality into the first 11. So that's going to intensify. Hopefully, I'm hoping that intensifies the next couple of days, and we can actually get some comments and literally talk about it and see what we can do. To get some comments from the UK as well.
Yeah, in the past we've had so many false reports, so it's kind of it's hard to like know what to believe sometimes until something's like concrete, in the media. At the moment, it's just kind of a bit of gossip, So at the moment, we're not entirely sure. So I think just what's happened in the past, we just know we don't know what's going to happen. So we'll see what happens over the next few days, and hopefully, as you said, hopefully this is something serious. Because it's getting to a point now where we just want it to happen as soon as, or at least have something in line. Because I think even when say they're going to sell, it might take a while for them to sell, and it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take probably a few months or whatever. But just to know that they are definitely going to sell, just please, fans.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. And there's actually I wanted to touch on something. The very interesting factor that if you look at both the United and Arsenal team yesterday, we had quite a number of Samba players with us. When I meant by Samba players, we had quite a lot of Brazilians playing on both the ends of the pitch. And guess who was the visit to the Old Trafford? Kaka.
Oh, was it?
Yes, Kaka was one of the visitors at the game yesterday, and Cristiano, of course, Cristiano was his ex-teammate in Real Madrid. Caught up with him in the tunnel, and then there was another picture with Kaka, Casemiro, Jesus, and also, of course, what's his name, Martinelli, who's Brazilian as well, and they all caught up together and sort of had a good conversation. Because there will be teammates in a couple of months, a couple of weeks anyway, in about probably 8 to 9 weeks. They'll be playing for their country in one of the biggest stages of football, which is the World Cup, which is going to be played in Qatar for the first time. This is the first time in history the World Cup's going to be played in December, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is the first time it's going to be played at the end of the year. But I think it's going to be a great World Cup.
It's going to be it's going to go on the while, and we'll probably talk about this more when it comes along. But it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to play out the season, because it's just something we've not been used to. Well, it's never happened before. And to have a World Cup banging right in the middle of the season. And then how people who are not playing, people that are not going to the World Cup, how will they keep their fitness up? Is it kind of like a plus for teams not to have players going? And they're getting the rest, or would managers have players going so they keep their fitness up? And I'm sure we'll touch on this, when it comes along. But I just wonder what managers will think. What would they rather have? We're probably gonna have most of our squad going, I guess. There might be a few that might not go. But I think it's just going to be very interesting to see what happens with that. And I'm sure we'll have 4 weeks where there'll be no Man U games. So I'm sure we'll have to do some videos on that and
of course.
Yeah.
Actually, it is a quite fun fact that we will talk about. The reason, of course, we all know the reason why the World Cup is actually held in November, due to the scorching heat in the Arab world. So it is the first World Cup. The tournament kicks off on Sunday, November the 20th, in Qatar, and Qatar take on Ecuador in the Group A match. And it's also the second group. Well, second country to actually host the in Asia to host the World Cup, after of course Korea and Japan. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. So we're probably about 8-9 weeks away, and
Yeah,
most players will be trying to keep themselves fit, trying to keep themselves sharp, because in about 8 weeks they're going to be joining up with the national teams and um, and the start of the World Cup. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm only excited, Darren, because it's going to be a whole lot of football to be talking about, and
yeah,
we are going to be there. We want to bring you the best news. We want to bring you the greatest insights. We want to make it interactive. And I tell you,
yeah.
Darren, I'm telling you, it's going to be a good ride, bro. It's going to be a good ride. I'm very excited about it.
I tell you what I'm looking. So I say was what I'm really looking forward to actually. The
Yeah,
last three tournaments, I've not been back in the UK,
yep,
and you know what the England fans are like. They go a bit crazy. So
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
actually going to be back in the UK for that, which is going to be amazing. So
yeah,
that's what I'm looking forward to. Because the last one, I was like really, I'll be in New Zealand at the time,
yeah,
but watching all the fans back home
yeah,
going crazy,
yeah,
and obviously we got to the final, and then we lost it. And
yeah,
it would
yeah,
have been like a bit of a regret if we won the final and I wasn't in the country. So
yeah,
you know, you've probably seen all the videos. English
yeah,
fans go a bit crazy, but
yeah.
yeah,
I still remember Euro '96 when we lost to Germany in the semi-finals. I think there were a couple of England fans who wanted to commit suicide, and they went off and jump off the cliff, only to find themselves
yeah.
into the ocean. And then there was a boat that was passing by, came and saved all of them. That was a real funny thing. Yeah, well, that was a really funny story. Well, that's what I heard about anyway. But are you going back to the UK for good, or you never know?
I'm not sure yet, but yeah, I've gone home for a few months and that. Uh, yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the family, so yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
yeah,
see
yeah.
them. Move from there really.
And
But
then
yeah,
come
it'd be
back. You
just
know,
nice to go home.
we got to take over the fan club here, Darren. We got to run it together.
Yeah, no, that'd be really good. I really would love to do that.
Yeah, so you got to move
Yeah,
away from New Zealand and live in Melbourne.
yeah. Come down to the cold Melbourne.
That's it. That's it. Anyway,
No,
Darren,
mate. Yeah. No,
it was
don't get a bit of it.
fantastic talking to you, bro. Like always, we are going to go live as soon as that story starts to intensify. We'll try and go live for that, or if not, we will definitely be doing the pre-show for the Royal Sociedad game, which is on Friday, 5:30 kickoff at Old Trafford. We might be able to get Charan to do a crossover. Hopefully, if it's not too difficult for him, I'll try and talk to him.
Yeah.
One of the things is he's saying the problem he faces is when he gets to the stadium at the time, especially on game day at Old Trafford, it starts to jam the signal of
Yeah, too
data.
many people.
Yeah, too
I
many
think there's
people
like
using.
70, yeah, like 70,000 people there in there, and they're probably
Yeah,
most of them is using the Wi-Fi.
yeah,
So, I mean,
that's
I'm having
right.
a problem with in Sydney, and there's not even no one here. Your message you've got 70,000 people, so
Yeah,
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 it's
yeah,
a bit hard, but hopefully, yeah, we can get him. You know, at some point, that'll be really cool to see.
correct.
Yeah, especially like live as well. Like we can
Yes,
get to the stadium early or something. Because I think
correct.
the game will be 8 p.m. back home. Or I
Yes,
think 8,
that.
8
Yep,
p.m. Yeah.
yep.
So
8
yeah,
o'clock kickoff. Yeah,
yeah. So it'll be a Thursday night as well. So
correct.
yeah, if we don't want Europa League, but you know it's weird it, and we'll talk about more
Yep,
about it when we come to it. But it's
yep,
something I think we've got to take seriously, and yeah, well, hopefully we can go far.
yep. Definitely. Thank you so much, Darren. You're with Joel
Thank
at
you.
the Red Devil Addicts studio, and of course, we are always a pleasure to have our Darren, who will be coming to Melbourne very soon. He's coming back to Melbourne.
Thank you.
He's on.
2 weeks.
He's living the life. He's living the life. He's enjoying his holiday and traveling, and still gets a chance to do the show. But he will be full time back on the show once he's back to Melbourne, or then and back into New Zealand, and also probably back in the UK. He'll be on more frequent and better reception then.
Yeah, you can see me better and hear me better.
Yeah. All right, Darren. You have a lovely day ahead, and we will see you soon in the next show. So don't forget to subscribe to us on Instagram. Sorry, on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Red Devil Addicts YouTube channel, and also follow us on Instagram. Right.
Thank you.
This is Joel signing out.